Hello everyone, and welcome to this month's business bundle. I'm Juana Georgica and I'll be your host for the next hour and so. And I will teach you about content marketing for milliners. So let's get started. First of all, a reminder, you can watch this video at your own pace. Pause it and note down if necessary. And you can revisit it anytime you want, as long as you are part of the membership. After this session, you'll be able to understand the role of content marketing and its role within your digital marketing strategy. Why do you need it in your business? And I would be focusing on two particular types of content: blog and email. By the end of the lesson, you'll get the confidence on how to write better blogs and persuasive emails so you can attract more potential customers to you. I will present you a slide deck, and thinking you are more a visual person, it might help you with understanding and structuring the information. And I will be behind some slides, so don't worry, I'll be here if you don't see my face. So let's crack on. Let me do the swap. And here I am. Give me one more second. Yes, so today we are talking about content marketing for milliners. This is something that Catherine especially asked me to think about, how to help you guys write better blogs and better emails. But it's not just about writing blogs and emails, like ticking a box or, well, I have to do this because everybody's doing it. My approach is more strategic. And I'm going to take you through what is content marketing in terms of digital marketing, what is its role, and how we can use its power. So today's lesson agenda is like this. We're going to have an introduction. I'm going to introduce myself properly. And we're going to go through a few chapters, like more, let's say, sections of the presentation. What is content marketing, first of all, and how you can benefit from it. Types of content and its role. How to research your audience. I'm going to talk about audience again. Might be a cliche for you, but it's very important to know your audience, so you know who are you talking to. How to create and plan your content, how to do keywords research and write better blog posts. These two are very, very connected. They are literally king and queen of the content. The anatomy of a good blog post and the importance of SEO. And then how to write persuasive emails, and I'm going to give you some suggestions for tools in creating and scheduling your content. And I have a lot of goodies for you. You're going to have a lot of templates and toolkits. So let's go on. Introducing, I'm your trainer for today, Juana Georgica. It's Juana, pronounced like Moana, but without the M. And as you can see, I love to wear hats and actually to make hats. And Catherine, she's been teaching me for the past 3 years, maybe, since she started her academy. I've been part of the first members. So I'm proudly saying I'm a very good student. I'm a digital marketing certified professional. I have a post degree in this field, and I'm a marketeer for the past 21 years. And I've been working with big companies such Unilever, Nestle, Philips, Mars, and so on and so forth, mainly on traditional and digital marketing. I've been freelancing in digital marketing for the past 4 years with my little agency, SOM Digital. SOM is actually acronym from our family names. This is my husband's, my name, and my 2 daughters' first letters. So because it's a family, it's a not family business, but we put family at the heart. I am serving all small businesses owners, digital marketers, and virtual assistants that they want to grow their business or upskill for a better job. So if they want to change their career, I'm going to teach them how to do it to get a job in digital marketing. I am building my own e-learning digital marketing school right now. I've just relaunched my website, and now it's a platform for courses and e-learning. And I'll be creating a membership for small businesses owners and for marketeers looking to have a place where they can find everything, all the tools and all the templates and all the help they need to grow their business. As I said, I'm a millionaire myself, and I've been surprised to win an award this year for the best bespoke hat making company in London, which was a big thing for me because I've just started this millionaire thing like 3 years ago, so I'm very happy to be here. I'm a mother of 2 girls, Eva and Mara. I have a dog, Kali, and I'm living in North London, more specifically in Rickmansworth, which is a very nice place to be. I love digital marketing and millinery, and I also love traveling, I hope soon, and skydiving, so a bit of everything. Let's move on. What is content marketing? You will say, oh, it's blogging and social media. It's, well, it's everything that we create for a purpose. Content marketing is a type of marketing that involves the creation and sharing of online material. So it's everything. It's videos, blogs, and social media posts that does not explicitly promote a brand. So it's not PR, okay? But is intended to stimulate interest in its products or services. So this is a definition of Oxford language, okay? But everything you create in terms of visuals, social media, videos, blog posts, everything, it's with a purpose. And the purpose is to attract and create a buzz around your brand and your message. Where does content marketing sit within your digital marketing strategy? It's very important to understand why we are doing this with a purpose. Outbound marketing. So there are two of the most important principles in digital marketing are outbound marketing and inbound marketing. Outbound marketing begins with the brand advertiser pushing out a message to a specific target audience with the objective of being to drive awareness of a product or a service. It is that, so it's a push strategy. You push outside, you push the message outside, okay? And it's done very rapidly, spreading the word of the campaign, product, or service to the target audience using, for example, visual display banner in video formats, TV, and it is a print, outdoors. This is more known as a traditional marketing. So it's more like drive product recall. It is like, oh, I remember I saw this somewhere on an outdoor. I saw this on TV. I remember seeing it. Yeah. So you are actually pushing the message to everyone but you don't know exactly if they will come back and literally buy your product because they don't know where to, you know, what is your playground, let's say. Then we have inbound marketing, which is exactly the opposite. It's almost like reverse marketing, yeah? You are actually attracting the people towards your business. So it's a pull strategy. And for that, you are creating content to attract those people who are already interested in your product and service, so that they seek you out and engage. The potential customers find you through channels such as blogs, search engines, email subscription, word of mouth, and online reviews and recommendations. So you might be attempted to find ways to create the conditions where the people are drawing towards your brand via your content. This is why we are talking about blogs, SEO, email subscriptions, online reviews, word of mouth. This is digital marketing. In case you thought digital marketing is just going online and doing stuff. So in today's business world, inbound marketing is the most important aspect to the digital marketing because it allows you to attract customers to consider your content and service relevant for them. So in essence, it is the audience who have the internal drive to drive action and find your products. They already know they don't want the product and they go and search. This is already intent, they are already in market for you. And this is why has a very important part of your strategy. But again, where does it sit in terms of the customer journey? So this is a funnel. It's called, you'll find it called sales and marketing funnel. So everything we are doing has to be a funnel if you are using digital marketing. So first part of the funnel is very high. It's like awareness. It's like everybody knows about you something and they found you, and this is how you are actually get people towards you. You have to put them like it's, how do you say, it's a funnel. Exactly, this is the name. And this is called the top of the funnel. And it is the part where you create awareness and interest on your brand. And here is where we have content marketing, display and video advertising, and social media. Then we have the consideration and the conversion, so where the people actually are thinking, I'm considering to buy this, so I'm comparing with other products, and if everything is as I want, I will buy it. So this is a conversion, and this is called middle of the funnel. And for this, we are using search engine optimization because they already know about your product and they are going to search for it. And paid search, that means they're gonna literally click and buy. That will be a conversion. And then the retention. Retention is already for people who bought, and you have to come to create ways to come back and buy more. And that we are doing it with email marketing, automation, and analytics. And this is called the bottom of the funnel. And here is where content marketing is sitting. It's at the top of the funnel. We are creating awareness and interest with this, and it's very important to understand to whom. So everybody we are talking about this part of the funnel, it is called audience. They don't know you they don't know if they like your product, if you exist, and how are you close to their wishes. The middle of the funnel, it's called warmer audience. They already started to understand what you are offering or the product you're offering, and they are starting to search. So they are considered warm audience. And at the bottom of the funnel, they are warm audience, like very hot. They are the people you want to nurture and you want to treat them special. So talking about content strategy as a benefit, it's very important to understand, why we are doing this. It's not just because it's nice to have. Actually, it's growing your brand and business visibility and awareness. It recruits brand advocates and new customers, so you might find really loyal customers in the future. It increased the SEO ranking and the web traffic, and that means you can do retargeting and other ads, and you will be on the front page of the Google search. Enhance understanding of business and interaction with key audience. That means you understand what they're doing with your content if you really track them down and understand your analytics. Generate leads and new business, that's definitely. And build a reputation and authority expertise. You are building your expertise, you're positioning yourself as an expert in the field or something that you're doing it. Types of content and its role. So again, talking about the customer journey, again, we have a funnel and we have the awareness, and we are increasing our awareness through content. Type of content that excites, entertain users, identifies a need. Entertaining, the content might be entertaining or educational. Consideration, which is the middle of the funnel, they already know you and they're already following you. So that means you have to build trust further. So this is, you are doing through community management, you are doing Facebook groups and I don't know, other type of communities, forums and chats. And the conversion, so the customer comes, sees, consider, and then buy. And then you are talking about content that has strong calls to action, buy now, try now, subscribe now, something like that. Again, so the type of content that actually fits the awareness are blogs, white papers, banner ads, social ads, editorials, social media, podcast, ebooks, advertorials, and templates. So these are the type of content that you can use to create awareness. Who are you as a brand? And what are you doing? You create this type of content and you spread it around, out in the world, on internet. Consideration, you are doing social engagement, case studies. So see, we are already in, they are more interested. They are going to read, actually, that person or that business has some experience. I want to see how they are doing it. And they start to ask questions because they're already considering you as a part of their further purchase. And conversion, the type of sales is like discounts. So this type of content that you create have, I don't know, special offers, click to buy formats, and so on and so forth. It's very important to understand where content is sitting in terms of awareness, and talking about further about blogs and social ads, because I'm sure you're already doing social media, and maybe you're thinking about some podcasts. Maybe it's very trendy now. Again, reminder, this is cold audience. This is a bit warm, so it's warmer, and this is warm audience. So you are not going to get a sale directly from somebody who don't know you right away. This is not happening. You have to take them to this funnel. Sometimes it's very quick. Sometimes this funnel actually takes months, 6 months. and takes a lot of effort depending very much on the product. And talking about content, again, what type of content is right for your customers? Because this is, you write so different when you write to as a business to consumer, and it's so different when you talk business to business. And maybe in the future you're gonna be a go-to business for a wholesaler actually who wants to buy hats from you, and you need to talk in a specific way. So consumer audiences have very different objectives and behaviors when consuming content than business-to-business audiences. So we are talking about the target market. As a consumer, generally speaking, the audience is a lot wider as a definition as is anyone who is likely to buy a product or service from a business. With business to business, the relationship is a client or vendor approach. As such, the influence and the relationship is usually exist within individual and related business verticals. The purchaser, in individual customers are largely the purchaser. Other considerations are an individual who is buying for a household or for somebody else. It's a gift. Business-to-business purchases are usually a department head of or someone responsible for procurement or of third-party contractors or vendors. So that means you're going to talk to somebody who is in charge with money or a decision maker. The buying process is different. Within business-to-consumer marketing, the process is usually a single step. You just go there and, I don't know, go and buy it. Business-to-business buying processes are usually undergo cost benefit analysis, proposal pitches, so you are part of a process that has multiple steps. Very important, the sales cycles. For business to consumer, the cycle is a lot shorter. Again, this is in general, and is more related to FMCG maybe versus high value investment purchases. But in business to business, considering the extended buying process, the retention is longer in this space. The sales driver. Awareness and loyalty are large elements of business-to-business influencer sphere where making purchase decision. Information and professional relationships aspects influence more greatly in the business-to-business arena. Why I'm saying this? Because maybe you've used this when you create your content, but in the future, maybe you will upscale so nicely that you're going to need to know the business-to-business approach. Sales factor for business to consumer, it's all about impulse and emotional marketing, and it works best as an individual has less reliance on direction for their spending decisions. For business to business, the data and background information as well as financial logic and proven track records are all crucial to sales conversions decisions. As you can see, there is no one size fits all, and it's important to consider the agenda when you are creating your content strategy to make sure it is serving the right objectives, but also speaking in a relatable way to your intended recipient. This is an example of how many type of content exist on internet, and it's just for let's say for fun. You don't say this very you cannot see everything is written, but you can find this on internet. It's really fun to see it. But you have the strategy, then you have the formats, of your content. The content type, like best practice, demand, let's say, yeah, experiment, quizzes, yeah. Then you have the platform, you have website, you have Facebook, you have Google Plus, you have advertising. It's very interesting to see all the platforms in one place. You have your metrics. How do you measure your content has a success? So the page views, you have cost per lead, and okay, this is just for you for fun. But if you would go in details, you'll understand this. Further, types of content by its functional role. What is the role of your content? You are creating a nice blog post, but what is its role? What do you want to say further? So the role can be either entertaining, educating, inspiring, or to convince. Pam pam. So this is a really nice graph, makes you understand. The two-dimension used in the matrix help you review how content can support the business to achieve its goals against how different formats appeal to different type of people. So as you read from left to right, the matrix shows how different content assets can develop audience awareness and reach through the purchase process to nurturing and prompting purchase. So you start from here and you create this type of content to move the customers to the right to the purchase. More visual, interactive content to support emotional this buying triggers is shown at the top of the matrix, with more static content at the bottom, yeah, supporting the rational decision making. So this is the emotional part of content, what you create as a trigger, and rational, yeah. You can go back to this video a couple of times and then you understand exactly what to do to create, you know, awareness in an emotional way or awareness in a rational way, and then you educate, and then you know what content to create, not just to make content just because everybody's doing it. It doesn't work. So you have to know why you are doing it and where is your customer sitting at that moment, his journey, what is his journey when he meets you. So this is a top tip. This actually should be the main themes of your content. So you create 6 or maybe 4, but actually 6 themes for your content, including 6 themes for your blog posts and 6 themes for your emails, yeah, or maybe more. But for blog posts, you create those themes with this purpose to entertain, educate, inspire, convince, and they have to be either emotional or rational. And then you know what to create. In terms of the content, how we can make it visible on social media. As remember, social media is one of the building awareness channel at the top of the funnel. So I just put here a nice, let's say, table highlighting how you can use your content. So on Facebook, so I've definitely, we are talking about organic. It's what you put on the platform without any payment, and paid. What the paid advertising can do for you, and definitely social media now, it's a pay to play place to be. So for Facebook, less than 1% of your audience will be reached. So if you have, I don't know, if you, doesn't matter how big is your audience or Facebook followers, whatever you put on Facebook, no more than 1% of your audience will see. So don't get frustrated if you have only a few likes or few people saw your video, because this is how Facebook works. They don't show it, so they don't know it, and people cannot literally appreciate your work. So this is why you have to be really consistent, and don't worry about annoying someone on social media with too many posts, because they will not be annoyed. They don't see that much from you. So anyway, so organic is less than 1%, but then paid, you could have boosting content, can have ads, and bespoke click to buy ads. That's really, really interesting how you can create the content for this type of activities. Again, Twitter and Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat, well, they are playing almost the same. Everything is changing lately, so you cannot literally create a strategy on how many likes you want to get just because you think that is the right way to do it. It's just you have to be consistent, and if you want to beat the algorithm, you have to either pay or create very engaging content, which is something that we're going to talk about later. Again, YouTube is the same like Facebook, really low organic traffic. So this is why YouTube is a very good place to place your ads. Okay. By types of content, by audience. What it looks, wow, so many graphs. Don't panic, don't panic. It's just for you to understand. If you have a business, let's say you are mostly business to consumer business, you have to understand the way your customers are consuming the content, so you know what to create more or to focus on. Yeah, so definitely social media, emails, articles on YouTube. That will be either I would say blogs as well together. Yeah, so those three top type of content can be your focus, as well the photos and videos, because we as a business here, we are very visual. So you have to focus on this. Don't go and doing, I don't know, infographics, mobile apps. This is not something that you want to focus. As a business to business, again, almost similar. So business to business and business to consumer audience are very different when it comes to purchase decisions and the content that resonates with them. So you have to create the right content for them. Okay, what type of content should I write? If I write too much, what is too much? If I write too little, what is too little? And do they like big posts or small posts? Look, this is a nice graph just for you to understand that the average engagements by content length, like this is, for example, Twitter, and this is Facebook, and this is Reddit, and doesn't. But Twitter and Facebook has the biggest engagement when they have long posts. So that means when you write a post on Facebook or Twitter. I don't believe you are using Twitter that much. In UK, it's not very popular. But if you use Facebook, use long posts. Don't do like, I don't know, make it is going to be like a micro blog. So if you have something to say, make a story. Don't just throw a picture with caption, I don't know, 3 lines of caption and some hashtags. Create a story and you will have the most of the engagement. And engagement is something that we are looking for. And very important again for you guys, when you're writing a blog or social media, or what type of content should I write about what? So these are all type of contents, okay? Videos, very interesting for Facebook, pam pam. The most successful in terms of engagement posts that you can use, especially on Facebook and Pinterest, coming now. But Facebook is very interesting. The what post. So the popular posts to have are the following titles. Have the following types of titles. What are the best? What are the tools best for? I don't know. What common mistakes or how? What? Everything that you have in mind, like a what, or you maybe somebody asked you a question. What fascinator to pair with, I don't know, this type of shoes or this type of outfit. So what post type of content has, again, a lot of engagement? So you have what post and long content on Facebook. Again, why do we create this content? So we get people engaged, and we want to make them resonate and to maybe create a viral content for us. So gaining shares and positive amplification from social media users is beneficial for your brand. So a study by Review noted that 70% of consumers trust messaging from their peers over professional advertising messages. So shares and amplification of your content is the way to incorporate this peer endorsement to supercharge your content. But what makes audiences share content? Incentives. Prizes are often a tactic brands utilize to get content and marketing messages shared. So this represents opportunities to build your fan base, engage with your audience, and collect data. What else? Fame. People often share content to their peers to look good with their social cycles, more commonly as social currency. And utility. People often share content that is useful. As knowledge is the original sign of power and wealth, it continues to determine online influencers. So if you create content that gives people incentives, fame, and utility, you will have a very strong content. So now let's move on further to how to research your audience. Again, might be a cliche for you. Oh, I know my audience. I know my ideal customer. I know my buyer persona. I know my ideal, I don't know how, I think I've enumerated the most common way of calling this ideal people buying from you. And definitely you know them. Or maybe you're at the beginning of your journey and you want to know more about them. In this case, we have to research. So it doesn't mean, I mean, maybe you have an established business and you already know who is buying your products. Maybe you're at the beginning of your journey and you need to understand how and where to find your type of audience, so you know what to create for them. So an audience is defined by three big characteristics. Geographic information. So when we're talking about three elements, yeah, geographic information. This is the target region. It might be a specific, it might be a specific city, state, or country. In some cases, your target geographic might be the entire planet, which is the case of other two elements will be more specific. So in a nutshell, a target audience is who you create your content for. These are the demographics, personality types, and followings that would find your message more impactful. Having a clear vision of the target audience, it's something that you need to happen before any type of content is created or promoted. In general, these three are the key elements, yeah? Geographic information, demographic information. And now we are looking at your ideal customer as such. What age, gender, income, education, marital status, family size, race, religion, ethnicity, first language, profession. Yeah, these guys can be your audience, but depends on you if you research on them and they are like this. The third element is psychographic information. Many would say that this is the most important aspect of the target audience. This is where you get into the weeds of target audience research with buying habits, behavior nonsense, interests, motivations, hobbies, favorite celebrities, influencers, and so on. Yeah. So it's the information that is, you have to really understand the behavior of your audience, and there are ways to do this. How to research? I mean, you have to ask those questions to understand who is your target audience. Why? Why do you think they would be your ideal client? Why would they buy what you are offering them? What is the problem you solve for them? Do you solve for, what is the product you are offering? What is your value proposition, your unique selling proposition? Where do they hang out? Where do they consume content? Where do they use your product or service? Where? When do they consume your content? Day, night, lunchtime, mornings before work? And when do they use your product and service? And who exactly is buying your product? And for who? Maybe it's a gift. Who are they demographically and psychologically? Okay, I have so many questions. How do I find about my buyer persona, my ideal customer, my ideal avatar? Well, there are some tools you can use for free, even before you actually start your business. So you can look into social media insights. If you have a Facebook account, you can literally, you don't even have to, to have a group or something. You just have to have your normal profile. But you can access the Facebook audience insights, general audience, or your page or your group profile. So you can actually understand what's happening on Facebook, who is on Facebook. And they have really good graphs. I'm gonna put links in your workbook where you can find all these tools. your Google Analytics. Look into your location and demographic reports to understand the profile. You see, if you have Google Analytics, I mean, I believe you might have a website, and the website might have Google Analytics, which is the bread and butter for any business. And if you have it, you go and check out the reports on location and demographic, and then you understand, are they men, women, are they local to you, when do they come online, and how long do they stay on your website. By practicing social listening. So social listening is a process of identifying overall conversation or sentiment about the business topic or individual on social media platforms. So actually, you can learn about specific industry hashtags, competition, influencers. You can find out for free by using those tools I'm suggesting here, like Google Alerts or Hootsuite Mentions, or even Answer the Public. It's a very interesting tool where you can find out what people are searching. And let's not forget about the Google Trends. Google Trends, you just go on Google and search Google Trends, and you'll find out, but I think you can find out all the trends even on a specific day in the past, and what happened on that day, what was trending in terms of keywords and events and so on. So you can use this. It's a bit of work, but if you want to start properly or understand your buyer persona, do it properly, and then you're gonna have gold. How else can you find your buyer persona or your ideal customer? By taking surveys. If you have a Facebook group or something, or you have already an email, actual and former customers, just ask them, create a survey, asking them exactly what you are after, like, do you wear a hat, what occasions, what will be the price range, would you gift it, You'll find the right questions for anything you want if you create a survey. What type of content would you like to have from me? Would you like to have blogs, videos, anything you want, just ask. You might have a surprise and find out how many people actually answer. By checking out competition reviews and customer comments on social media. So see what type of people are leaving review, if you have and where, yeah. If you have a competition, a brand that you know, oh my God, they are doing so much, let's see how people are talking about them. What languages do they use, the customers? Special wordings, the hat is a fascinator, it's a hat piece, that will be the language of your audience. Look at the influencers on your niche, in your niche, what hashtags do they use in their posts, and then follow them and make a bit of research who is actually using in terms of branded industries. And again, you can understand your competition by subscribing to your competitor newsletter and see what are they doing in terms of email, what they are communicate, how do they formulate their emails. And did you know that in Facebook you can actually monitor up to 5 other pages? If you have your own page, there is a way to monitor another 5 competition page in terms of reach and following. So many things are happening for free. Talking about buyer persona, why do we need it? We need it to understand how your customers and your prospective customers are behaving, so we know them better. If you know who are you talking to, then it's easier to create your content, messaging, and tone of voice. Yeah, it's very important to talk on their language. A buyer persona for content marketing acts as a sounding board to assess what they think, how they feel, and their behavior. So you can align your content exactly to what they want. Most of the time, there is no such thing as an ideal buyer persona in real life. But again, most of the time, they are buying multi-channel. They are buying from everywhere. They are going online. They are going in the shop. They are, but it's very important to understand as much as possible about them so we can create to them the right message. So we know what type of content now. We understand we have to create content smart strategically, and to whom? To the buyer persona. Yeah, we have to understand why and how. So in this case, I will create a template for you on the workbook to go and create your ideal persona. Maybe you already have it in your mind. Maybe you can add something more. But the elements of an ideal persona will be the following. By then, I'll tell you, most of the businesses have more than one ideal persona, customer, buyer, client. Normally, we would focus on maximum 3 ideal personas, and we would address their needs separately and with specific content. Consider these 3 audience persona. I've chose Jessica, Charlie, and Elizabeth. It will be very difficult to serve the audience need in these 3 audiences with the same piece of content, right? Personalizing your content for each of these audiences will help you to achieve a better return of your content creation. So, Jessica, she is 23 years old, living in the city, employed. She's likes skydiving. She likes going to festivals, spend her time on Instagram. She buys on sale, wears small fascinators and small hats, purchased influenced by young royals. So this is her profile in terms of life stage, what and who influences her day-to-day life, what the behavior, impulse, or how they are buying by an impulse or considered, how do they consume their content, which will be the Instagram. Charlie, 40 years old, living in the city, business owner, affluent. She likes go to the race courses. You already know what you have to create for her. She likes traveling abroad, big fan of luxury fashion brands. And Elizabeth, she has, extended family, so she might need a hat for the next wedding ceremony in her family. So the 3 aspects of a buyer persona would be a picture, a name, and the details about her demographic, psychographic details, including lifestyle, habits, preferences, where they spend their online and offline time. So if you create 3 buyer persona for you in this format, will be so good. You visualize who is the buyer, who is the persona is buying from you, and then you know what type of content to create for them. Creating your plan. Pam pam. Now we have the role of the content, we have the type of the content we want to create, we have the people we want to talk to. Now we want to create the plan. Pam pam. You start creating your content by brainstorming themes and keywords related to your buyer persona and industry. Make a keyword research using AdWords Planner or Google Trends, or even your audience insights to see what type of content your audience is actually want from you, and what type of keywords are triggering. Create an Excel document where you map out these themes, emotions, type of content like educational, functional, and channels that you want to use. I'm gonna put a link to a template for this in your workbook. You'll find it. Use tools to create content and even to curate content. Did you know that the ratio between your own content and curated content should be 80% curated and 20% your own? So that means you don't have to really create everything, but you can curate other people's content, relevant industry like fashion blogs and relevant magazines and maybe designers, and you can curate them. So you have a lot of ideas coming from other people's content. And yeah, as a bonus, you'll find the Excel template for how to map out these type of themes and content. You'll find it, the link in the workbook. Creating a plan, people are buying from people. So that means use the wheel of emotions to understand the power of sentiments that might surface from your content and how to tap in each emotion wisely. This is the wheel of emotions, and I recommend you look into it. I'm gonna put a link in your workbook to find out more if you want to go in depth. But make yourself a list of powerful words and verbs that express the emotion you want to show in your content. It's very important to use the right wording so you can say the right message. You'll find this as a bonus in your workbook. Or hire an expert to work along you, or pay him to do the work for you. That is the easy way, but that will be the ultimate in case you want to outsource the copywriting. How to plan your content in terms of when and how, yeah? Take into consideration the seasons of your industry and have the content ready with at least 3 months ahead. So you know it's going to be winter, yeah, and you know it's going to have Christmas, you know you're going to have gifting, you know. Plan your content accordingly. If you create a collection, look into trends as soon as possible, early in the year. Maybe being inspired by the big brands having presentations with 18-24 months ahead. So in fashion, if you pay, you can have the trends of the next 2 years, yeah, ahead, and you can create your collection for that. But most of us, we don't have access to these trends. So, but what we can see is, for example, who in January is having, I don't know, a fashion show for the next winter, yeah. So in 2 winters, you look at their fashion show and see what is trending. Last year was the bucket hat was very popular and very trendy. Take into consideration the resources you need to create the content. The resources might be time, money, skills. Maybe you have to teach somebody to do that, or you have to learn how to do it. Products available, tools, and so forth. When you create blog posts or emails, create in bulk and time block so you can take advantage of the creative flow you will have. So when you start the flow, you'll be in the flow and you'll just fly creating. Here, SEO and focus keywords are the king and the queen. A tip, have a big piece of content and then tear it apart. Have a big piece of content and tear apart in small pieces and create small pieces of content and sprinkle them over all your platforms. It is great. It is a great technique for repurposing the content you have already. I'm going to give you a bonus again. I will give you a template. Look into your workbook and you'll find a link to this template so you can start creating something, but not from scratch. Use a content planner for all your content across all the platforms. Use templates for social media to create and keep similar look and feel across platforms, and use scheduling tools and best practices to serve your audience in a professional way. I recommend Hootsuite, Buffer, Tailwind, and not to forget the platform native tools. Facebook Studio, it's a very good example for this. Plan the creation of a variety of types of content to have as a library. So when you have a library of themes, subjects, lines, ideas, interesting topics, then you know you are not going to have any gap in your content. And repurpose the content by creating small pieces of content on the same topic or theme. And lastly, create a brand book with the color palette, mood boards, and fonts to reflect your brand in the same way across channels. Okay, we were talking about keywords because we are talking about content, because we want to create the right content that will trigger our audience searches, yeah? So, steps to create successful keywords research. Pick a topic, only one topic or theme at a time. And brainstorm keywords. Research your keywords with similar meaning around and closely related topic and focus on quantity over quality at this stage. So, you might have a hat and fascinator and headpiece. Look around those type of words. Review keyword value. So now at this stage, you find which keywords you found related to your main keyword that are more closely to trigger your search. Prioritize keywords. Decide which keywords are the most important and which ones you want to focus more and include them in your content. Okay, you have the tools, you have the ideas, you have everything in place, but you literally cannot write. So I've heard this so many times. People have the writer's block. I sit here and I have nothing to say. I cannot literally write. So the causes of writer's block can be distractions, physical illness, bills piling up, I don't know, procrastination, or just intimidation. But there are ways to overcome this. First, create your own space where you find yourself safe and inspired to create without any distractions. Ideally, is with a good natural light. Declutter your house, declutter your room, make mind space for your eyes and your brain. Have a notepad with you or use your notes on the phone to put down all the ideas that might come up so you can refer them later on. Write in sessions of 10-15 minutes at the beginning about anything you want, not necessarily related to your topics. Give yourself permission to write terrible stuff. Have a 30 days challenge to write something every day and be committed to. Listen to music, maybe a different one than usual. Find yourself another hobby. It's not necessary to be a creative one. Maybe gardening, maybe, I don't know, carpeting. Dictate and record. You might find it easier than writing to start with once upon a time and tell yourself a story. Do some sport. Go outside and play. Dance like nobody's watching. Go for a swim when it's possible, of course. So, the last that I like the most. Have a glass of your favorite alcoholic beverage or cocktail. It might make you really creative. That's interesting, and I apply this sometimes. And the last one, but not the least, have a good sleep before starting to write, or sleep on it. The brain is doing his job and makes the connections overnight. So if next time you are feeling, oh, I'm not really in the mood to write, I don't know what to write, I'm feeling, maybe I don't write the right things, go over this list and try to do one at a time, or maybe all of them, and see, and I promise you, actually, it's gonna work. Now that we overcome the writer's block, let's go to the main topic today, the blog posts. I wanted you to understand where blog posts sits in content marketing, why it's important to understand why we are doing a strategy, why we are talking to certain people, why do we do the keywords research, because the purpose of, let's say, that this presentation will be how to write better blog posts. You cannot write better blog posts if you don't know who are you talking to, what are your keywords that are triggering your blog post to be on the first page when somebody's looking on Google, and why we are writing blog posts. So I'm talking about, again, the sales funnel, and we are talking about the awareness. Here we are with the blogs. Is the cold audience, yeah? Blog posts are a great inbound digital marketing meant to attract traffic to your website. There are 4 reasons you need to blog. They drive traffic, increase your SEO or your position engine on the first page, SERP, position your brand as an industry leader, and it's a very good tool to educate your audience and show your expertise in their niche. So definitely you have to do blogging. The elements of a good blog post, that's my favorite part. I split it into bits. I put it the technical bits and the creative bits, because if you want to write a blog post, you have to understand how to write it, even if it's the best ever content you ever did. If it's not written SEO friendly, like the Google likes it or Bing likes it, it's a waste of time and it's a lost opportunity to attract the people and even to sell. So the elements of a good blog post. Pam pam, don't panic. I have to move this so you can see. You are. So according to the experts in copywriting, headlines, subheads, heads, and bullets should be useful to the reader, provide him with a sense of urgency, convey the idea that the main benefit is somehow unique, and do all of the above with an ultra specific way. So these are the elements of a blog post. I took this from a website, which is fine. I didn't need to do it myself. It's just to highlight. So first is the URL. You see this keyword optimize. You don't have numbers here, or I don't know, letters and other signs. You have a keyword optimize, yeah? How to swim 10 steps. You have a SEO title, which is more than what you have in the URL. You have how to swim in 10 steps, and you have the name of the business probably. You have a meta description. If you don't know what is a meta description, go on Google and search. It's a description that you give to your blog. What is the blog about? This article will teach you how to swim, So it's something that will appear on Google search as a description of what is in the link. You have a date stamp. Sometimes you have only the month and the day, or maybe you have the full range. Yeah. You have a title, how to learn how to swim in 10 steps. Here is the head one. Yeah, it's a header one. Okay, it's the main title. You have an introductory paragraph where you are introducing the reader into what's all about in the blog post. You have a subheading, it's H2, understanding. So what you have, you can have more than one H2. You can have subheadings actually. It's like chapters of the blog post or sections of the blog post. You have bullet points. It's very important to have bullet points if you can, if you have any like enumeration, use bullet points. Don't put them in a phrase with comma, put it in a bullet points. Yeah. You have visuals, probably pictures or video. Specific fonts, like literally nice, easy to read, but that will come from your website theme, and I believe you will have a clear, readable fonts. You have a summary. You have a strong call to action to a value proposition. Yeah, start learning now to swim. That's very important. Sign up now. You have relevant tags and category. Always create categories when you are creating a blog post, and tags related to the blog post so people can search within your website or maybe outside the website with Google. You have social sharing options. You have the author, maybe bio, but that will be not necessarily having a bio. You can say author and who wrote it. And comment sections, only if you want, is not necessary to have it. So overall, you have to ask yourself 6 questions before you start to write your headline. Does your headline offer the reader a reward for reading? What specifics could you add to make your headline more intriguing and believable? Does your headline trigger a strong, actionable emotion the reader already has about the subject at hand? Does your headline present a proposition that will instantly get your prospect nodding his or her head? Could your headline benefit from the inclusion of a prospective transaction? And could you add an element of intrigue to drive a prospect into opening copy? So some of the examples or headline formulas would be how to plus a benefit, how to create something. X ways to plus benefit. X steps to, I don't know, 5 to benefit, 5 steps to writing the perfect blog post. The ultimate gate plus benefit for a perfect blog post. Why you should plus the main idea, why you should write a perfect blog post. A reminder, only one header, H1 per page, only one. You can have at least one header, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 per page. But the header one, it's only one. This is SEO best practices. The creation bits. Use storytelling to make your audience resonate with your content. Write a head-turning headline, talking about heads and hats. The headline determines whether the audience will read the rest of your work. Create a hook that grabs their attention. Do your research on what their pain points and give them the solution. Try ask the public tool, or maybe if you had your survey, use the outcome of the surveys. Focus on single purpose, one blog post, one main topic, one focus, keyword per page. So imagine Google is actually a bot that comes and reads your blog post, and he needs to understand what's all about in your blog post, so he or it can trigger the research, the search query, and throw your page for that word. So if you have only one topic, one focus keyword per page, they will understand what it's all about in your blog post, and when people will search about that topic or keyword, Google will put your page in the search results page. This is why it's important. Write in a unique voice. When you write a blog post, do not swap from I to we in the middle of the text. Be consistent. I is more personal. We, it's more detached and talking as a brand company voice. If you lose storytelling, use true stories or related to true stories. Use the elements of persuasive writing, like rhetoric questions, use alliterations, use powerful verbs or verbs that resonate with the wheel of emotions. So then, there you go. You have a nice blog post. I'm going to give you a bonus. You'll find the link to a tool in your workbook. It's called Headline Generator Tool. You can use it by putting your focus word, and then you have some options on how to create a good headline. And another bonus I'll give you to you, it's I'm going to give you a list of type of blog posts in the workbook. I mean, it's going to be a link to a list, and I'm going to tell you type of blog posts from the point of view of the reader point of view. So you're going to love it. Again, continuing, always optimize your digital content. Check the content to be mobile responsive and have pictures optimized accordingly. So in your blog post, you have to have a picture or a video. But if you don't optimize it, it might not show accordingly on your mobile. It might be too much on the left or too little or too big. You'll take the full space of your screen and then it's going to get annoying and people will just drop and not looking further. Edit your work. Use tools such as Grammarly to check your spelling mistakes. It's just because maybe it is embarrassing to have spelling mistakes. But if your keyword, for example, is spelled mistaken, then Google will not show your blog post to the correct keyword search. Use high quality pictures at the right resolution and size with alt text included. Always when you put any picture on your website, not what is on the media library on the back end, but what you put, everything you put on your blog post on or website, always put alt text, because again, it's for Google. Imagine Google doesn't see what is in the picture. He just read what is in alt text and will understand that that picture represents that thing. And when people will search pictures with that keyword, your picture might be showing up. So again, it's another way to increase your traffic and brand awareness. Again, use bullet points when you have a list of things to enumerate. Create your own meta description. Normally, meta description is created automated by the website and will take the first part of the first paragraph, but normally you would want to say to put your own meta description and create an excerpt for your blog post. This is it's like meta description, but it's like what is in the blog post when you see all the blog posts listed. Create appropriate description and add the right pictures for social media sharing. This is something that you create, like a featured picture, or you might have on your blog post the option to add specific picture for your social media sharing. And make your content shareable so people can tweet it, pin it, or further. The elements of a good blog post: the content, creating bits. Use relevant tags and categories. Always include a call to action, that be a comment, subscribe button, fill a form or contact form. Check your SEO integrated tool for suggestions on improvements. Use less passive voice and try to write short paragraphs. A good blog post has at least 500 words, but I would recommend you to have between 1,000 and 2,000 words. And check the readiness level and the skimming level. You'll find these terms if you have a website and an SEO tool installed. Create at least one fresh blog post per week. Always have this in mind and create it. And use it as the big piece of the content, and then tear it apart in small bits and create social media posts, lives, email content. This is actually the core of, can be the core of your content repurposing. I'm gonna show you a tool in the workbook about how to create this. And avoid keyword stuffing, like putting the same keyword you have as a focus everywhere in every paragraph. That will be too much for Google, and it will downgrade the quality of your page, and that means they will not show you your content. And try to content answer your human-like questions so you can get ready for voice search. It's very popular to have Alexa and Siri. Alexa, what's the weather like today? So try to include at least one paragraph answering a question similar to a human-like questions. What would you do if something? Put the questions as well, asking. So to wrap up, the 5 elements of a perfect blog post are magnetic headline, captivating story, relevant images and graphs, easy to read, and optimize for sharing and conversions. And be yourself. That is the most important things. Those 5 elements are a must. You must add these 5 elements every time you write an article for your blog. They can help you increase the time your readers spend on your site. This is very important KPI, time spent on the page. Increase your newsletter signups. Increase your social shares if you have relevant content. And getting the links you deserve. People will create links to your blog post as reference. So you're gonna have backlink building. Having a blog that keeps your readers on the edge of their seats isn't easy. It's intense work and hard work. But if you follow your content calendar, have a clear persona you write for, and promote your content the right way, you will get results you want. Moving further to email marketing is the most powerful business growth tool. Owning an email list makes the difference in a world where the power of social media platforms is not with you. So it is an inbound marketing. So you are creating content for people come to you. Yeah, it's a pull strategy. And its role is to create stronger and more personal relationships between the businesses and their customers. Made right, email marketing can bring you sales while you are sleeping with automations in place, connected to your Facebook, Instagram, website, blog post, e-commerce, ads, so on, so forth. It's a very, very powerful tool. Using email automation for retargeting the visitors from your different platforms, as well as having in place a recovery cart abandon sequence. The safe sales can be up to 80% covered. Why am I pointing this? Most of us here as Milliners, we have a shop, online shop. And because life is so busy and so chaotic, people are putting they like something, yeah, they are almost buying, they put it in the cart, but something happened, the kid just entered in the room and crying and yelling, and it just stopped literally buying. But then you have this sequence in place saying, hey, did you forget something in your cart? Here it is, just buy it now. It's very important to have this in place. And the regular e-commerce business, like our millinery shop, needs to have in place a minimum 5 automation at any time. And I'm gonna give you a look on what are the recommended email sequences for an e-commerce business, and I'm gonna add it to your workbook. So you can start create your sequences and have everything in place while you're sleeping. The components of an email, oh, look, the subject line, what is the email about? The sender, the email address in person who sent the message appears here. It's your business, it's your brand name, it's your name, you decide. The recipient, if you are receiving a message, your email address probably won't appear here. All of this must be done or created or known before actually creating the content of the email. But you know this already because you know it. But then you have other parts of the email. Introduction, including salutation. Hi, Gina. Da-da-da, nice to see you. I hope my message finds you well. You know, introduction and salutation. Middle part is the body, and part 1, closing and signature, and part 2, that will be a PS. PS, did you know that da-da-da-da-da? Okay, take a look here. And part 3, you can put a PPS. And by the way, another one. Sometimes it's a funny bit. And you have a link pool. At the bottom of your email, you're gonna have links towards unsubscribe or whatever. Check my Facebook page or whatever you want to put there. And occasionally you'll have attachments, but I recommend you, when you use email marketing, don't put any attach. People will not open it, so it's not, but occasionally you might have. Components of email from the visual part. You have a logo, you have a photo, you have a header, you have a body text, a call to action, and the footer. And I recommend always put an unsubscribe option link. Is the right to do so. This is an example of how an email from Amazon looks, and it happened that they've sent this to all their subscribers by mistake. So this is their template. We have a logo, we have a photo, we have a header, we have a body text, we have a call to action, and the footer, and we can see here the link pool. Yeah, it's a very good example to understand how to do it. How to write better email content. Apply all the recommendations from previous content creation sections, and that would be the writer's block, how to overcome, and how to create your keywords research, and how you research on the buyer persona. Research the best type of subject lines and how to use emoji in subject line in a smart way. I'm gonna give you in the workbook a link to a email subject line generator, so you can play around with that. Always A/B test your emails. Always. Most of the email management systems, they have this option of A/B test, that you can test the content. You can send different emails to the A/B test way. The content can be different, or subject line, or pictures. Always A/B test. Use persuasive style writing, storytelling, and make the reader imagine what you are trying to say. Create mental images. It's very important to create images in their mind and using the storytelling. It's very important. Use their language, not yours. You might come a bit arrogant talking in very specific terms. You need to know their audience, your audience in depth and their language. And try to show your personality so they can know you better, the way you talk, what values you appreciate, and if they like you as a person. And as you know their pain points, offer them the transformation they need, made with your help and project an easy life after them using your service. So it's like, imagine yourself the best looking mother of the bride, not the best looking wedding guest, let's say, because the mother of the bride is the only one, the best looking wedding guest, made, I don't know, with your hat, and imagine how people, they will congratulate you for your look and your hat. More recommendations. Be conversational. Sorry. Be conversational. Read your text loudly. It is the way you talk to your friends. Less is more. Always use a word instead of phrase, a phrase instead of a sentence instead of a paragraph, and a paragraph instead of a page. The 4 S's of your emails is the subject, is the scene, is the segue, is the seamless link, and the summary, that pulling all together. People buy from people, so share your struggles, your worries, your disappointments. Then they will start to know, like, and trust you. So people would ask me, okay, you are talking about storytelling, but how can I find a story? I don't have stories. Well, you can find a story in everything. And I will ask you to do this exercise. On a sheet of paper, write 3 things you have seen, 3 things you have done, and 3 things you have heard within the past 24 hours. Take time to think of the day-to-day. Sometimes things may you have overlooked. Don't stress about how it relates to your business or what is the moral of the story is. Just take time to rediscover what you may have filled away. The subject line, don't overthinking. There is no right or wrong. You can take a snippet from the post you use and use that, or you can use an alliteration. It works really well, like sodden Saturdays and lethargic learnings. And remember, you have only one goal and one ideal client. You must write for this client, so you need to be clear who they are. And nobody ever complained about short emails. Going back to the story that we want to tell. What story do you want to say? Roughly speaking, again, your content can be themed in 3 overall categories. Functional, which is less emotive and purely fact-based content. This is a strong driver for business-to-business content and is directly related to the business or brand. It's the hard sell, and it's meant to educate and inform. Normally, it's customer service, talking about products and offers and competition. The emotional type of content. This is a realm of tapping into the human experience and showing a personality that allows consumers to relate to your business. You talk with humor, passion, talk to tough leaders, exciting, and can be reactive or topical. The essential type of content is the absolute bare minimum information that a consumer needs to know what you're selling to interact to your business. So they're talking about prices, promotions, locations, availability, and distribution. A good content strategy should contain a healthy mixture of items from each pillar. So now do the exercise with final stories and decide what type of emails you want to create or content, and fire away. Tools for creating and scheduling your content. Well, there are an endless list. There is an endless list of tools for this, but I would just recommend a few. For blogging, it's the WordPress. You can have it for free if you want, or you have your own website on WordPress, so you can do the blogging there. Squarespace, Medium, it's a blogging platform. LinkedIn, it's you can write articles on LinkedIn. They are really popular and they offer a great visibility for your brand to the corporate customers. For visual content and audio video, paid or free tools, I recommend the Adobe Suite, but it's very likely to use for you all the native, all the platforms on social media. They have their own native way of video and audio editing. Canva and Photoshop. Canva is very popular and audio video and for all social media platforms, including ebooks or infographics if you want to create. Scheduling tools, use Hootsuite or Buffer or Later or Tailwind, or there are so many. They all have a free version with limited features, but you can explore the paid ones if you want to have more features. So you can actually schedule your articles on social media in general. Social listening, you can use Hootsuite. They have in Hootsuite they have the mention feature, and you can track hashtags or businesses activities on social media. You have mention, answer the public, Google Trends, Google alerts, and Mazumo. They're all very interesting tools. They have different functionalities, and most of them are very easy to use. Tools and templates. I've offered you tons of templates and toolkits. I will ask you to look into the workbook for links to the resources, download them, and put them to work right away. They are made for you to easily customize on your business and your brand. And they are only for your personal use, not for sale and further distribution. And in conclusion, when you know what you have to do, it's easy to create the right content for the right audience and for the right buying stage, the audience it is. Do your research properly and plan accordingly. All the resources you need to deliver the content. Follow the recommended steps and best practices to write better blogs and lead generation emails. Take one step at a time. Content marketing is one of the most complex and time, budget, resources consuming digital marketing strategy. So don't overwhelm you, don't burn out just in panicking. Plan it and do it right. And the first thing to do is just start. If you find anything that you might struggle in the future with the content and digital marketing, you can find me here, and you can work with me, and you can ask for my help, and I can work for you if you need any help. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, or Facebook group. It's SOEM Digital Academy. It's a private group where I'm dropping tips and hacks on how to use digital marketing. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for how-tos and walkthrough videos. Find digital marketing services tailored for small businesses on my website. Take a course if you need. Drop me a message, and if it's not already listed as a course, I might literally create it for you in the same way the other ones I've created. Or you can book a power hour with me to sort out what to do next. You have an idea, you have a bit of plan, like I'm not clear exactly what to do next, how to create my strategy, even business strategy, channels you want to approach, and tactics if you want. So I have a special offer for this. You can find me here if you need me. So this is it. Thank you very much for your time today. It's been 2 hours, more than I expected, but I had so many things to tell you. I hope after this session, you know exactly what content do you have to prepare for your audience, what is its importance to do it properly, what are the formats of your content, and the most important part of this session is how to write better blog posts and better emails. If you have any questions related to those topics, please send them to Catherine, and she will give the questions to me, and I will try to answer all of them in our Q&A session after I think in 1 month or in April. So thank you again, and I hope I'll see you soon. Bye.